Hey everybody, happy Saturday. And today I have something a little different and exciting going on. A good friend of mine, Melissa, has turned her journals into a book. And I have it. She gave it to me at VidCon, was it 2 years ago? I think so. And so I wanted her to share a little bit about why she journals and how she uses it to help her in her own recovery. I know a lot of you tell me that you don't know how, or you just can't quite get into it. And I honestly think that her book could be a really helpful tool for you to see how someone journals and how they help themselves in the process. And she has made a book to help others, so to share her stories in order to help people like you. And the reason that I'm doing this video is because Melissa's second edition is out of Lady Injury, and it has more poems and more descriptions to help explain why she did what she did, because I really like the fact that this book is so raw and open, and it really shows you what her process was and what it was like as a person struggling with self-injury.
Hello, Katie's Kenyans, and I'd like to thank Katie for having me on her channel and letting me discuss journaling, which is something that I'm pretty passionate about. I went through a period where I was journaling pretty hard, and I'll just show you. I rocked the boat. I filled all these journals within a period of about 6 months, so I was a pretty hardcore journaler. So what did I talk about in my journals? I pretty much wrote everything that I felt. I wrote conversations that I had pretty much verbatim. I would write everything that someone would say, how that made me feel, what I thought that was going on in their minds, because I'm just evil like that. And it got me through some really hard times, especially because I was hospitalized a lot at the time. And it got me through because everything was so hard and I didn't really accept my reality the way that it was. And journaling, really putting it down to paper and saying what it was that I felt about things, it helped me calm down, and it helped me feel like I was talking to someone, even though it was just writing in my journal. Eventually, looking back at what I had written, I had decided that I was going to share it with the public and publish it, which is something that people ask me about once in a while, how I went about that, and it's not that hard. Well, it's not that hard. The thing is that once my journals were all written, it was written. I just had to go back and format it to the type of a book. And that was really exciting for me. I got to look back at what I had written at the time, and I learned so much just from what I had read back and read, because I was like, Melissa, how could you have behaved that way? That was not acceptable. And I was just like, it was a lot of self-reflection for me to have it all written down and to be able to look back and say, you know, this is what happened, and this is how I reacted, and this is how I would like to react today.
And because this is Saturday, Melissa is going to share a wonderful quote from her book, Lady Injury, in order to inspire us to journal. And I think this one is really cool because it talks about making more space in our lives for the positive things versus the negative things.
I have a copy of my book here. It's called Lady Injury by Melissa Seawater. And I wanted to read a quote because of the journal topic for today. And it was when I was talking to my psychologist. And this is something that she was saying to me, and I thought it was very profound, which is one reason why I put it in the book. It says, "The part of me I insulted and hated, the part of me that cuts, and the part of me hurt so young will always be there, but I can let my grown-up part, my more rational adult part, take over. My darker half had too big of a place in my life. If I gave a bigger place to the lighter, brighter half, there would be less space for the darker half." So it's basically saying to put good things in your life. The more good things you put in your life, the less space there is for the bad things, which made a lot of sense to me. So I think that's a great journal topic to think about, what kind of lighter things that we can put in our lives. I'm glad to have been able to talk about journaling because it's something I'm pretty passionate about. I talk at the end of the book kind of an addition about how I work on YouTube now, and I raise awareness for mental health and how I've been doing well the last while, and that recovery is possible.
Thank you, Melissa, for sharing your insights and for creating such a wonderful book. I will put all the links to where you can find her book, where you can find Melissa online, because like I said, she's a YouTuber like myself, helping spread awareness about all the different things that she's struggled with in her life and her own recovery process. Thanks again, Melissa, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye!